Hello, this is Walter Bradley. Don't you hate being lied to? Don't you hate it when people mislead you, misguide you? And then even worse, when they tell you they're helping you and they lie to you. How does that make you feel? Well, I know how it makes me feel. It makes me feel like voting everybody out to get the ones who will tell the truth in. But unfortunately, everybody that runs, well, it seems like they don't follow the same idea of truth that I do. But if you follow my idea of truth, which means you can back it up and that it's really true, then we want you on Heart Talk. And we will look at every issue and say whether it's true, not true, or where does it find itself in this world. We'll look it over and we'll tell you the truth about it. I'm Walter Bradley, and that's what Greg told me I should say. We're for the truth, and we want to find the truth with you and make it a foundation to move forward with this country. We welcome you here on Heart Talk. There are some that are doing this privately. Believe me, there are rich people who don't need to account to the government or do anything. They can fly their own jets and stuff happens.
Well, that's the issues was to really see where the jets were going. Where do they go? Where do they come from? And if we can follow them and track them, I think we'll find something. I believe, as many people, that they're coming from military bases, not from public airports.
Well, let me tell you something that some people have seen and think they have seen. And this is interesting because I think there's more to this than just governments and airports. And some of them think these are morphing, that they're actually UFOs and that they're actually doing it and doing it for the government. And it's a UFO. What are you going to say to that? Did you have any military craft there?
I would say prove it. I mean, how
no. The thing is, they've actually had a guy picture a plane kind of morphing and changing, and it did.
Yeah, but that could be digital.
And it could be digitally enhanced. But there's a certain aspect where it can't be. And if it's really morphing, you can really tell if it's really morphing or not. As far as if somebody digitally enhanced that can be traced and that can be found out. If it's real, which in some cases I believe it is. And that means there's a satanic element involved in this. And it or he is doing something to the atmosphere. It may not be traceable stuff. It might be something that is untraceable and that just slowly evolves when you mix several different types of things together slowly. In other words, it's like making a cake. You first put one ingredient, nothing really happens. Everybody goes, oh, nothing happened. And the next one comes over, mixes a little ingredient. Third one, fourth. It may take a year, and then it happens a year later because it takes time to bake and then come together and then happen. And it may happen 10 years after the initial spraying, as you would say. And it may have happened over a period of months, but nothing happens. See, I think they look at it like baking a cake, and they'll say different things. Well, let's bake a raspberry cake. Let's bake this, bake that. And they're baking something. They're cooking it up. Wow, you're learning truth. We hope so. And we hope you're learning something and you're opening your eyes. So stand by, there's more coming, more light to open your darkness. We're right back with Heart Talk.
This was the first episode of Heart Talk, and it dealt with chemtrails. And there's a reason for that, because I knew that if we went up to the park, that we would see some trails. The day started out where we didn't see trails, and as it went on, we ended up seeing a couple of them. Not the best footage with my little cheap camera, but we're doing our best here. We're going to upgrade as soon as possible as we can. But on this day we were filming, and this lady who was sitting there, I think she was a teacher or something, she started asking us about this. And so even if you just go to a park or just stand on the street and start filming them, start filming what you are seeing when you see these trails, people will look. And they might not stop, they might not say anything to you, but if they feel like they can come up to you and ask you a question about what you're doing, why you're doing it, there's a good chance that they actually will. So we were just very calm, very cool with this lady, and tried to give her a little bit, not too much, because you don't want to overload people with this stuff. Some people, at least I don't want to overload people. I want to give them just little things, and the more that they want, the more that I'll try to help them with, because I'm not really giving them anything. It's not, all I'm doing is just sharing stuff that I've learned, and stuff that I've read, and stuff that I've seen. That's all that I can really do. I can't make you see what I'm seeing. And so it can be very frustrating at times when I'm trying to make you see what I'm seeing and you're just not seeing it. And that's not your fault. It's just that, we all live our own lives. We're all different people. That's all.
Clint Eastwood would be on Hard Talk because he's a real man. Are you? Well, punk, are you? Do you have enough guts? Do you think you have enough truth? Well, join us on Hard Talk, and maybe even Clint Eastwood would join us. Clint, you'd be welcome anytime, because real men that do well and raise families well and do great movies too. And as my wife would say, you don't look half bad either for your age. So we welcome you and all here on Heart Talk. If you were a SEAL, what would you do? Well, you could be a SEAL that's out on Seal Beach. Or you could be a SEAL out at Fair Lawns where the sharks get you. Or you could be the kind of SEAL that eats the sharks. That's Jesse Ventura. He's the one that eats the sharks. So for all sharks out there, beware of Jesse Ventura. You don't want to get in the maw of that man or you're in trouble. So Jesse, we welcome you to Heart Talk and the next president in 2016, should you be willing. And here we would love to vet and speak your truth through the means of Heart Talk. I'm Walter Bradley. Won't you join us here? And besides, if there's any SEAL I want to see playing with the ball, it's Jesse Ventura. And I'm sure he could get it through the ring. Hey, join us here. I'm Walter Bradley on Heart Talk. This is Walter Bradley, and I like Alex Jones. You want to know why? He's a Texan, and he tells the truth. And he knows Jesse Ventura. I'm formerly in the Navy and served on submarines out somewhere in the world. And I appreciate people who stand up and speak their mind. Not speak other people's talk, but speak their own heart. Walter Bradley invites Alex Jones and Jesse Ventura and Jerry Brown. Hey, let's mix it up. Here on Heart Talk, where we can speak the truth with civility, care, and kindness. Not with boxing gloves on. That only applies with Jesse Ventura when he gets out there and he has to deal with the CIA. That's the easy way he deals with them. But the rest of it is up to you. So join us here on Heart Talk. Hello, I'm Walter Bradley, extending invitations to many people out there who vet the truth, who will talk about the lizard people. Well, who are the lizard people? Actually, they're reptilians. And the reptilians are in vast areas underground. Some say they're above ground. Some, like David Icke, will tell you that they are ruling this world currently. David Icke, you're welcome here on Heart Talk to discuss this issue in a sane forum in which we vet the truth with biblical and archaeological information, and those who have understood and know the truth. You're a former BBC, and we invite you, David Icke, here to join us, Walter Bradley, Greg Fernandez, and we are Change, hey, for Heart Talk, and we'll discuss the reptilians and what it means for the future. Join us here on Heart Talk.
Now let's invite the actual reptilians now. Let's not be biased.
Okay, but let's make it to where they can remain anonymous.
Sure.
Hello, this is Walter Bradley, and there are reptilians, and there are many in the secret societies. There are secret ones who are part of the dark side, who are actually sent from the dark side, we understand. You are welcome to come on this show, behaving yourself within the spirit and the power of the Most High. We know that you have power. And reptilians and the men in black, or government agents, CIA, NSA, or, well, I can't mention the name, but you know who you are. It goes into the levels of the Black Triangle and so forth. However, we invite you anonymously to speak on Heart Talk with me, Walter Bradley. We will keep the secret, and we will keep it quiet. They will only see me as you answer and speak to me. We will give voice alteration if necessary, and anything you need to keep your identity secluded, occluded, and quiet. So won't you join us here on Heart Talk? I'm Walter Bradley. I'm inviting you to step into the light. Join us. I'm Walter Bradley. Hello, I'm Walter Bradley. And Greg Fernandez is one buff dude. He wants to challenge Jordan Maxwell to an arm wrestling contest. You know, Jordan, I pray for you. You're in for trouble if you meet Greg Fernandez and face him with his massive biceps. I think he would give Jesse Ventura a run for his money. But anyway, join us on Heart Talk. We'd love to have you and the mysteries of the Bible here on. And we'll discuss some of those interesting mysteries that, well, that some churches and pastors and teachers just don't want to talk about. We talk about it all here. Why? We're looking for the truth, all of it. Whether we like it or not, truth stands on its own and is left standing when all is fallen. So Jordan, I think Greg Fernandez wants to find the mystery of how quickly he can defeat you in arm wrestling. That's a mystery he's thinking about right now here on Heart Talk. I'm Walter Bradley. Join us, Jordan Maxwell. You're on. Well, this is Walter Bradley. I was challenged by my producer to invite some special guests on, but then again, if I did, that would be too scary for anybody to watch, I think. He was talking about the Nephilim. So if there are any out there, feel free to leave a comment, and if you want to be on Heart Talk, we'll go out and shoot it on site, as long as you'll let us live. We'll go with that. But if we come in the name of the Most High, I'm sure He will give us protection and guide us to some interesting conversations. If you're above 12 feet tall, please make room for us to have a mic that'll reach at least part of the way up, and you'll have to stoop a little. Hopefully you won't have a bad back. This is Walter Bradley, and talking about the Nephilim. If you have any comments about them, or you want to talk about it, or be interviewed concerning it, if you're a scientist, a former government official, or anybody who has some interesting conversations or any information you'd wish to vet and remain anonymous, you're welcome to be here on Heart Talk. We'll speak the truth and vet your truth right here. I'm Walter Bradley. Join us. And if any Nephilim want any answers, I'm sure that you can just almost step right over. We'll be right here on Heart Talk. I'm Walter Bradley. Hello, this is Walter Bradley, and Xena. Is that the pretty girl? Is that the pretty kitty girl that wants kitty hugs? Well, this is Walter Bradley, inviting my favorite cat. You'll see her occasionally here on Heart Talk because I'm a cat lover, an animal lover, and a bird lover. I had a yellow-tufted conner, a yellow-cheeked conner, that is, And I love animals. I grew up on a farm, and I look like a farmer. Probably look like a lot of things that are not quite normal. So if you're feeling like you're on the edge of society, we want to talk to you because we're all there sometimes, and I'm there most times. So won't you join me here on Heart Talk? And Zena, Abby. Well, Abby, you'll be hiding under the bed, so it won't matter. But Zena, I invite you to join me, and I'll give you some kitty hugs, and maybe you can see how I interact with my little pet, as my friend calls my daughter. She is Xena, the warrior princess, Xena, not Zena, Xena, as in Xena, the program with Lucy Lawless. But anyway, that's Xena that I invite to my version of Kitty Hugs for Heart Talk. I'm Walter Bradley. Thank you. Hello, Mark Morley. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance here through, well, at least I've heard of you. But I'd like to meet you on Heart Talk. So I invite you, won't you please join us so that we can talk of the truth, vet it, and show it to be real. For everybody out there, we have something to show you with Mark Morley here on Heart Talk. Mark, come and join us. We look forward to it. I'm Walter Bradley. Hello, this is Walter Bradley, and this is Heart Talk. An invitation again to Heather, who put out the protein powder at the run in Oakland. I'm really thrilled to get to know people out on the street and talk about their lives and also talk about our issues, and to bring the man on the street and the woman on the street, or the little girl and the boy on the street, or the teenager or the high schooler or the college student. Bring them into the fore and have them speak from the streets. This is Heart Talk, speaking from the streets, and it's coming up. I may grab you and give you information on how you can be on Heart Talk. Heather, we look forward to seeing you, look forward to interviewing you, and joining me here on Heart Talk. I'm Walter Bradley. Well, I'm looking for the guy at Gurin Brothers who I bought the hat from. $21 a wool hat. Keeps my head warm because I don't have much hair on my face or body. So, actually, I think I've got that covered. But on Heart Talk, we would like to interject people from the streets. And I'm going to be wandering around. And if you see a white bearded man with a funny hat, looks kind of strange, walking around talking about the truth and wanting people to make comments on Heart Talk, hey, that's me, Walter Bradley. And I'll look forward to talking with you here on Heart Talk. So join us. We're looking for people on the street, not just the movers and shakers, because you're the ones that make it happen on the streets. We're looking for you on Heart Talk. We'll be picking you up and giving you the chance to answer questions and speak your heart here. So we look forward to seeing you here on Heart Talk. I'm Walter Bradley. Thank you for watching Heart Talk. And if you stick around, we'll be back with more interesting information you can use to stand for the truth.
And with this trail, you can see it's still going here, but it will turn off. And once it turns off, then you will truly see. So what you have here, when you have Walter and he's talking about these trails that we're seeing, and these things are staying up there, and we calculated. We were there for over 60 minutes, and it was there. You know, this trail stayed there. The thing about this one that was weird is that it seemed like they turned it off, turned it on. You know, they did the off-on switch type of thing where it went, you know, it was off, it was contrail, 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 and then boom, from there it was chem-trail. And then from there it was contrail, contrail, contrail. So it was like they turned it off. I mean, it was like they turned it on, and then they turned it off. And I've seen these ones, and we documented these ones too, and I'm sure you've all seen them, where you'll have a very thick trail in just one area, and then over time that'll just go out and expand and everything. Yeah, of course it's crazy, man. You're talking about crazy people. If we're talking about people that can do something like kill John F. Kennedy, or can hide the UFO crash or something like that, well, let's even stick to what we can actually prove, you know. if we're talking about people that can lie to us about what happened on September 11th, it's not too crazy to think that they might be spraying people and running tests on people. We know that they have run tests on people. They use people to test out certain things and certain drugs, and they've always done this, and it's always been either government funded or government run or government associated, or ex-government associated maybe. But there is a strong faction that is doing this to us, and who they are and why they are doing this is something that we need to talk about and share.
And they've been to Mars, probably as far out as even Pluto maybe. They say they can get to the moon in 90 minutes. One officer said he's been to the moon and back in 4 hours. In less than 4 hours. So he gets in, goes out. He could stay there for 2 hours, fly out there, hour and a half, 2, 3.5 hours, fly back, 6 hours roughly, come in, do some paperwork, and in an 8-hour day, he's gone to the moon back, spent 2 hours on the moon, come back here. So going 250, 60,000 miles in 90 minutes. So 1,000,000 miles, wow. Hour and a half times 4. That's 10 hours to Mars. I mean, not 10 hours to Mars. That's about a week to Mars. If you're going to 110, 120 miles an hour. A week. So within a month, you could have gone to Mars, spent a week, come back. In 5 weeks, you've been to Mars, spent a week on it. Be it it's on the same side of the Earth and not on the opposite side. And I think they've done that several times. There's probably people on Mars right now, from the United States, from Russia, Germany, maybe Japan, China. They may even have a space station.
Yeah, it makes me think of that movie Prometheus, and how it was like they walk into this one cave and they can breathe. And it's like because it was built for that. It was built to inhabit them. And there's a lot of strange things in that film, but
it's a lot of indication of where we
like
really
Mars
are and what we've really done.
I kind of wonder if Mars isn't as dead as if. I think there might be rivers, there might be lakes, there might be
I think
oceans.
it has a breathable atmosphere. To have a dust storm in an atmosphere, you have to have an atmosphere to have a dust storm in. And I think there's enough oxygen in there that they can live. And it might be there's enough air pressure.
Have you seen the video of forests? Where they show forests on Mars and
yeah,
lakes?
I've seen that. And
pretty
structures
crazy.
on the moon.
Structures on Mars dating back from the 70s, right? Or maybe
yeah, that's when
earlier.
they went there, in the 60s and 70s.
It's ridiculous.
So, yeah, I think we've been there since the 60s.
I wonder if they left people there.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
I wonder if they purposely abandoned people there, and those people ended up making that big face to say, "Hey, help us. We're here.
We're still here."
Think about Lost and shows like that. Well, maybe it's not an island. Maybe it's a planet.
Yep, and what's to say that the president hasn't been to Mars and talked to people, or the moon and visited the moon base?
Yeah, I mean, it's all good theory and it's all good stuff to really talk about, as long as we don't mix speculation with fact, with things that.
Well, yeah, the thing about it is, the president has been described as a jumper. That's an interesting story in and of itself. And he saw that he'd be president before he was 30.
Well, I don't know if you've seen some of the old video. Well, you were showing me this, I think, actually, of the old pharaohs, and one of the pharaohs looked like him. There was another one that looked like Michael.
And they say they took the DNA of the pharaoh.
There's some theories
and they
about,
used that to bring back that he was an ancient pharaoh.
Well, there's some theories about like time travel.
Yeah,
and,
that's the jumping. They don't call it time travel; it's jumping. And you can jump in time or jump to a place.
So you've seen the movie Jumper, then?
Of quantum leap and jump. Yeah.
There's a movie called Jumper.
Yep.
You should check out.
Yeah, and so.
Or this new movie Looper with Bruce Willis. All about that. He's actually sent into the past
to kill himself.
Or he's sent into the future to kill himself. Yeah.
Wait a minute. That's a neat thing. That's a neat story.
It's crazy.
But how real could that be?
It's hard to really say.
Will it be a black man that hits Obama? And it's Obama.
Might be.
A younger Obama coming back to take himself out.
We'll see.
No, that's just facetious speculation. There's no such thing as jumping.
We're going to see Michael Jackson, Tupac, and Barack Obama come back on December 21st. Right?
And John F. Kennedy.
And John F.
And Elvis.
And Elvis.
And let's see.
And Martin
and
Luther
Houdini.
King might come back.
And Houdini.
Maybe Tesla. Maybe they'll find him. Bring him too.
Yep. Things go better with heart talk. Why? Because when your eyes are open and your ears are attentive, you know the truth. And as we all know, they say when you know the truth shall what? You got it, set you free. So if you're looking to be free with the truth, join us again. We'll be right back here on Heart Talk. I'm Walter Bradley.
So we're going to do what we can to get Jesse Ventura on the ballot in 2016. Jesse Ventura is one of those guys who will speak out against September 11th and Building 7 and ask the questions that people like Charlie Sheen were asking, and Willie Nelson, Alex Jones, countless others. A lot of people out there know, they just haven't come forward with it, but they know exactly what's going on. They know there's a shadow government. They know there's a New World Order. I mean, anyone who was watching Bush Sr. back in 1991 knows that they claim that there is a New World Order. They are the New World Order. A New World Order. What?
We're looking at a United States that's been broken a long time. And they've lied to the American people. And now that's been kind of normal for any politician, even back to Great Britain.
Well, yeah, definitely.
But here they've got it into a fine art. Now the people move like sheep to the prods. They're like cattle. It's move them this way and move them there. And when something happens that's obvious, like the World Trade Center, they talk over it. And the people just go, okay, we'll complain about it, but we'll do nothing.
Yeah.
And I think the early fathers would have been, if the World Trade Center had been, for example, in America, at the time of the forefathers, and this would have happened, they would have executed everybody that had a part in that.
They probably would have even built them.
Oh, well, no. Well, I agree, but if there had been any type of attack on the people like that, they would have gotten to the source of the problem and eradicated it.
Yeah,
because they would have stood for it. Man, this is going to be controversial. People say, is that guy nuts or what? I'll explain that. And
let's do a few about joining our
heart book, our heart talk,
heart book,
heart face, Join us on Facebook at Heart Talk. Hello, I'm Walter. Hey, thanks. We appreciate.
We appreciate it.
I was thinking of preaching. Appreciate it. No, you're not going to preach it. Blooper number 2 tonight. I'm practicing these bloopers so they sound good. How am I doing?
Pretty good.
Excellent.
Keep on preaching.
Anyway, welcome and thank you for listening to Heart Talk, where we don't preach at you. We just give you the material where you can preach. Thank you. Hey, do you know what Facebook is? Well, I do, and so does Heart Talk. We have a Heart Talk Facebook page. Won't you look us up and look up the information? Oh, Greg here will post many interesting. I got the R and E mixed up again. Hey, this is Bloopers Heart Talk. So we'll put a blooper video up for y'all to make fun of Walter Bradley.
Let's invite Zeno.
Okay, this is going to be interesting.
This is going to be fun.
I'm going to button up for this one. I'm going to go get some special. Thank you for watching something that can really enhance your mind and make you a real stud with the women. The truth. Women like the truth and honest men. And when they seek the truth, that's pretty sexy. So get sexy with Heart Talk. Come join us, won't you? Thanks.